Hey everybody, and welcome to Rough Stuff, the podcast where we invite our friends to humiliate themselves by telling embarrassing stories. I'm Bridgett Greenberg, and I went to summer camp for 10 years and can sing every Color War fight song right now if you ask me to.
Wow. Well, I don't think we have the time for it, but...
No, we don't. They're
that'll
all
be
like full 2.5 minute
That'll be
songs.
a patron-only locked episode of Bridgett Sings the Hits. So everyone pay that Patreon, baby, if you want to hear that.
You want to hear...
And I'm Sarah Griffith, and one time I peed in my own backyard because I locked myself out of my house.
Oh.
And here's the thing. I immediately peed. I wasn't like, well, let me wait if anyone's home. Nope. I jiggled the door. It was locked. I thought, well, I'm pissing outside.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, it's problem solving.
Yeah.
And that voice you hear is director, writer, actress, Carmen Angelica.
Hi. Should I tell my embarrassing
Yeah,
nugget?
yeah.
Okay. When middle school, I got braces, but before I got braces, they pulled 9 teeth, so I was toothless. Pretty much.
God.
Yeah.
Why
so I
would
was
they
a little
do that?
gummy
That
baby.
seems so painful.
It was crazy.
Before you got braces, so your teeth grew in.
I had teeth that were not falling out, essentially.
Right.
And my teeth were not falling out. And then my teeth were growing crazily around these
Oh, did you
teeth.
have the thing where you had like a
Shark
set
tooth.
of teeth?
I had shark
Yeah,
teeth.
you had like 2 rows of
Yeah.
teeth, basically.
Oh.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
So did you have braces while your other teeth were growing in?
No, they were like, we can't put braces on
Right,
you until
okay.
we
Yeah,
pull
'cause
out
you can't put
So
them
you
on
gotta
baby
wait.
teeth.
mangled teeth.
Were they visible teeth that they pulled out?
It was nuts, actually. My mouth is like a Frankenstein.
I would love to see the mold.
Oh
Yeah.
man, it was so pretty much I had 2 layers of teeth where there were teeth, my adult teeth were growing in and pushing the other teeth to
Right.
the side, and it's because they were trying to grow in any direction. They
Right,
were like
they're just trying to find
twisting.
room, yeah.
So
Yeah.
they pulled out these 9 teeth, and I had to wait for a lot of these other teeth to like grow in. So it was like I was just a gummy person for a while.
Wow. How old were you during all this?
I was like, I had braces for a very long time.
Yeah.
Me too, yeah.
So I think I got my braces in 7th grade, and I didn't get them out until senior year.
Shit,
Oh,
so
that
that
is
is
long.
late to be ripping out baby teeth.
Yeah, it was
That's
not
torture.
happening. It was not. It was like not.
Wow.
The teeth weren't coming out.
Yeah, every single tooth I've ever had has grown in crooked. So like I understand, because when they first put braces on, like you always think of braces just like a straight line of cross with like the things. Oh shit, my braces were like a squiggle. Like how they landed on each tooth was absolutely insane.
Yeah,
Insane.
because they had a lot of work to do.
Yeah. And even as I took, like, my braces are off now. And even still, it's like, dude, my teeth are just never going to stay like this. They're always moving.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's so long. That's so long to have braces, and they're such a torture trap. Like it
hurts.
It's when they tighten those things, I will never forget that pain.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
It's unbelievable.
And when your mouth is uncomfortable, like your whole
Tooth pain
shit
is-
is uncomfortable.
Tooth
Like,
pain is unmatched.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it creates anger in your face.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it's very stressful.
Yeah, I think that's why teenagers are so mad. They all have braces and their teeth hurt constantly.
100%
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah.
If you gave me braces now, I would be worse than I was in high
No,
school.
I would
Oh,
take out
Jesus
my teeth,
Christ.
give me dentures.
Oh, I would be like, you know what? Tighten this bitch as tight as you can. So I'm only in these braces for like 3 months. And then I'm just going to live in the woods and just retire for a little bit and then come back with straighter teeth.
Yeah, and they tell you not to eat all these things, and you're just like,
Oh, fuck
can I do
that.
that?
That's terrible.
You're right.
I will say that is when I straight up stopped chewing sugar gum, because they
Yeah.
encourage you to chew sugar-free gum. And I was like, oh, that's what, because it like helps like the muscles
Strengthen your
and
jaws or
yeah,
whatever.
like just gives you something to gnaw on, so you're not like grinding your own fucking teeth. But then I was like, oh, actually, bubblegum fucking sucks. This is much better. So thank you.
Thank you, braces. You're no woman now.
Yes, and I do have like a little bit of a correction from an earlier episode. I couldn't remember the name of my dentist. My dentist had a really cool name. It was Dr. Doobie.
Dr. Doobie.
Dr.
Hell yeah,
Doobie.
Dr. fucking Doobie,
I
man.
love it. That's nice.
The doobie doc.
Doobie
So in
doc.
between dental work,
Oh, man.
Yeah. Tell us about when.
All of the terrible that happened.
all the
within that painful anger-faced time.
yeah. Yeah. When would you say like the height of your awkward phase was?
Oh God. Oh man. I feel like I don't know if I'm even out of it yet.
No, no one truly is.
But I would definitely say the height. I think the height It's tough. I think the height was actually 5th or 6th grade.
That sounds about right.
Yep.
7th grade was living in that height.
Right.
Like I hit my height in those times. I was living in that height through 7th, 8th grade, maybe 9th grade. And then by sophomore year, I had like a revelation of being like, I can't impress these people. I mean, like, I can't.
Nothing I'm doing is working.
Nothing I'm doing is ever going to work.
And you're trying so hard.
I was trying so hard. And so I like junior year, I remember in high school just being like, you know what? Screw everything. And I literally was that girl with like the biggest headphones in the world, constantly listening to her CD player.
Yes.
And just like,
I just picture it also constantly being just the Smiths.
yeah, it was, I think it was like, oh God, what was it? Definitely Metric. You know that.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
To this day is my favorite band.
Oh, they're great.
They're amazing.
That is a good anthem. It's Metric and like Rilo Kiley.
Yes.
It's like the angsty girl.
Totally.
anthem.
I remember listening to that music when I was updating my live journal. So, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I lived that. And then it was crazy because then the minute that I started truly ignoring people to the extent of being a cliche in high school. Love like headphones and like angry music playing all the time.
I'm picturing like eyeliner as well.
Yeah, I definitely, that was when I got an eyeliner. That was when I started just like wearing all of like I started embracing thrift store buying.
Oh, cool.
Which I hadn't before. And my mom was always like, you should get stuff from thrift stores. Why are you spending money on clothing? And that was when I was like, but I have to impress these people.
Right.
And then I just stopped and I was like living that life. And then suddenly people change their mind. The minute you ignore them, they're all over you.
No, that's a good lesson.
Honestly,
Don't talk to people.
You're kind of like on the early cusp of like really fucking cool. Like, like you got that early kind of hip wave of like thrift store clothes and like being really into music and stuff. Like
that was truly just my escape. And like also being like, I don't have any more money to spend because I was spending my own money. My parents were like, we're not buying you anything.
Right.
You're just like, I gave you everything, you people.
right.
You've accepted none of it.
No, but it sounds like you're kind of on an early wave. Like if you had an Instagram at this time, I bet that shit would be popping off.
I don't know. My Instagram's terrible as it is right now. I feel like I'm always... my joke is that I'm always passe because I truly am like behind the times if I ever try to match people. And then when I just do my own thing, it's not necessarily cool.
But it works. It
just like works for me. And then people are like, oh, like I had huge ass. I currently have huge ass glasses. And I have had them since 8th grade.
Right. And it would become cool later.
And it became cool. And people were like, oh, you were a hipster girl before. And I was like, no, I was blind.
No, I couldn't see.
This is not an aesthetic. This is not by choice that I'm doing this shit.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I feel like that's kind of like the stages of growing up awkward is you do weird things you don't notice, then you become self-aware about it, and then you become so self-aware that you're like, there's nothing I can do about this, and stop caring.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
So something that we were like talking about before we started recording is like I have a hard time seeing straight. Like I have to adjust some things, and like it manifests itself in like very bizarre ways. And when I finally learned how to put my hair up in a ponytail,
That took me forever.
Yeah, I think I was sort of got 13. And I only had to learn because I was on swim team, and it's like, well, you have to be able to put your hair in a pony, like to get it under a swim cap.
Yeah.
Like, this is a necessity kind of thing. And like I was taught, and I still do it like this, where you kind of flip it over, and you like gather up your hair, and then you flip it back or whatever.
Yeah.
So I didn't even realize it, but I was always kind of doing a side pony when I was doing it. Like it was just like it wasn't exactly. And to this day, I like get self-conscious about it. Like as an adult, like I don't want to be a fucking adult with a side ponytail. And so like I always just thought like, oh yeah, this is just like how my ponytail goes up, and like that was it forever. And then like at theater intensive I went to one summer, someone was like, oh yeah, we could do Sarah's signature side pony, and I was like, oh no, I don't want that to be my thing. What the fuck? And I guess like
But you led the way.
Like I guess other people thought it was like, oh, how cool! Like she's got like a
thing you're doing.
I was like, no, it's just I put my fucking hair up. Like, I didn't do this on purpose. I didn't ask for this.
Yeah, and then they turn on you because then they're like, oh, they're trying, and it's like, I was just surviving.
Well,
I was just doing the best I can with what I got.
I hadn't been diagnosed as someone who can't do things straight on at that point, so I was like I was like, what do you mean side ponytail? Like, I'm just putting my hair up. Like, I'm not like making a side ponytail. Like, I'm like, you see how I put my, like, I was like defending it. Like, like, it's not a side ponytail. I'm just putting my hair up, and it just happens to fall on my side.
Yeah,
like
because just let me do this.
Right. Oh, and I look so annoying. I mean, I mean, all due respect to people listening with side ponytails, but that shit's annoying. Like,
Was it like a harsh side ponytail?
it wasn't a harsh. It wasn't like a Napoleon Dynamite.
side. Yeah.
It was just slightly askew.
All right.
Just slightly.
Well, I almost feel like that's better than what I did because I just did not understand how to make a ponytail. It was explained to me by my mother a million times, and she got so frustrated that she just like gave up. She's like, I don't know what happened. I just couldn't get it around my head. And I played sports, so I always had to be in a ponytail.
Right.
And what ended up happening for most of that period of time was just like I had your dad's friend ponytail. Like it was like my middle part at the time was still intact.
Right.
And it was just like low on my head. I just like got whatever hair I could and like tied it around a couple times.
I get that.
And yeah, it was literally like a 40-year-old man's ponytail.
Yeah. My friends taught me how to make a bun in middle school, which was like a whole other thing.
Oh, I learned that last
Was it
year,
a messy bun or like a
No,
bun?
like literally just like a bun at all because like I didn't know. And I was like walking around like, oh, look, guys, I'm wearing my hair in a bun. And they're like, you sure are. And like later I like figured out how to do it better. And they're like, oh, Sarah, this is much better. You look like a librarian before. Like a frumpy librarian. And I was like, yeah, well, I don't fucking put my hair up, so.
Hair is tough to deal with.
Hair is so, I'm still actually, I literally took a friend of mine aside recently because she has similar hair to mine. Also, I just learned how to get my hair cut. Like I had this.
I still don't know.
If you've seen any videos actually on Crack, it was like during the peak square hair moment of my life, and I had little square box hair, and it was truly like just angles, and it was not flattering. And so then I recently found a woman who knows how to cut my hair, but I don't know how to style my hair. So she's literally showing me like, she's like, okay, and all you have to do is like a little bit of this. And I was like, wait, what did you do with your
do
really
it slower?
Is that a blow dryer? I think, oh yeah, okay, I've seen that before, yes. It's like a gun looking thing.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
But
It's I might have talked about this before, but when I was 13 for my mitzvah project, after your bar mitzvah, you're supposed to do like a charitable thing. And my mother had convinced me to donate my hair to Locks of Love, which great organization. Don't want to crap on them. Not a great look for me. I cannot pull off short hair, especially at 13, because like I could have started crawling out of the awkward phase at that point, and then I cut, and then I lobbed off all my hair, and then just got sucked right back in there.
Mandatory by law, you have to have one bad haircut in your life.
Yeah.
Oh my
At
God.
least.
Yes.
At least.
Yes.
Are you really living if your hair doesn't look like fucking shit for a little bit? Honestly.
Yeah.
Let's say I've lived.
I remember like in middle school, it was really popular to have like very thin, straight hair because that was really in style at this time. But my hair is incredibly thick. I have a ton of hair, and it like if I straighten my hair and it is straight, it is a miracle of God that has occurred, or someone has professionally done it and spent, I'm not joking, hours truly getting it straight. And that was like such a bane of my existence because I was like, because like I want to fit in. I want my hair to look like everyone else's hair, and it didn't. And I hated my hair, and it was like I would cry about it because like I would try to straighten my hair with the straightener, and it's just like this shit is not for me. Like it's not working out. And then like though this is kind of like the everything works out in the end kind of moral of it. Later, like when girls would try to curl their hair, the reason why they could have such thin hair, straight hair, is because their hair was really thin.
Yeah.
It's
So
not healthy.
They can't hold a curl to
I
save
guess
their life.
It's probably healthy, but
It is, but I mean, it's
I
not
was like, you burned it like to death.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I
Right.
guess-
It can't move.
So
anymore.
I can curl my hair once a week and it'll remain curled or at least like nice and wavy. Like I don't have to use hair. I never use hairspray. And like now those girls are like, oh, sir, we wish your hair was like yours. I'm like, well, bitch, that's what you get for having all that straight hair in middle school, and everyone made fun of me for it. So,
But yeah, let's throw you back in the hot seat.
Oh, good.
So
yeah.
great.
Outside of having shark teeth and weird hair,
yeah,
Shark teeth,
I said
weird hair.
shark
I'm just
hair.
giving you a good visual. Of,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, no,
what
we
I
want
I'm
want.
to
enjoying this. Yeah.
No, you super relatable.
Shark teeth.
Shark teeth, weird hair, big glasses, just jamming out.
Jamming out.
Yeah, by yourself. But what was your scene during that time? Like, did you have?
It sounds
a
like
big,
it was seen.
You're a
was
scene
my-
kid.
my-
What was the group of friends you moved around with, or were you like a loner?
So if we're talking about peak awkward phase, because it started pretty much what happened is I had lived abroad with my family because my parents were working on a Fulbright scholarship, and so I had been living abroad when the transition to middle school happened.
Oh, so this is the plot of Mean Girls.
Like when Mean Girls came out, I was like, how did they know? Like they literally, it was another redhead, and I was like, is Tina Fey following me? Also, like, why doesn't she say hi? I love her. It was truly, I came back from living abroad, and I remember suddenly there were all these rules. Like I distinctly remember people making fun of me because I didn't know what the word dookie meant.
You never listened to that Green Day album?
Not abroad.
They don't get Green Day out there.
No, it was like everything that was a little bit later. Titanic came to me late.
No.
So like a lot of things that people were like, how did you not know about this? I was like, I just wasn't around.
Yeah.
So you're just like the sweet, ignorant kid who didn't like, know
Also, there was like this protective shield of like not having to suddenly be like plunged into this,
right?
Except for when I got dropped back
when
in.
You were
suddenly plunged in. Like people, I wasn't able to catch up, so like I really was that weird kid, and suddenly like this group of friends that I had like shifted, and there was this girl who was like, she was just suddenly like, she's not cool anymore, don't talk to Carmen. And it was like that. So
it's decided. The tribe has spoken.
It was truly it was awful. And so then I came back, and I was like, well, I gotta learn. I gotta get good at. I gotta fit in.
Yeah, you gotta get yourself some 17 mags.
Yeah,
gotta fill out some quizzes.
I was like urgently just like researching everything.
Yes.
And like I accidentally had an almost cool moment. My great aunt Gilda, R.I.P. My great aunt Gilda had gotten me tennis shoes because she was like, Carmen needs good tennis shoes.
Yeah,
right.
Turns out she was also wealthier than my family, and so she got me Jordans.
Oh,
yeah. She got me Jordans, and I came into school wearing
rocking J's
like Jordans. And I remember a kid, the cool kid in the class coming up and being like, "Hey, tight shoes." And I went, "No, they're very comfortable, thank you."
No.
That like warms my heart and also makes me cringe at the same time.
That's like a scene from a sitcom I would watch with my mom. That's adorable.
It was truly that. Like
You're
any
just little old lady who stumbles into cool things.
Like
sometimes.
it was truly, I was giving them as a gift, and I was like, no, they're not tight, they're comfortable. And then they were like,
wow, swing and a miss.
Yeah. Tried talking to her once, never again.
So close. You're so close.
And I had like, then of course all of the hormones, like and I had like this long hair, long hair, like sit on it hair.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And of course I was like getting breakouts all the time, and so I went from like truly, I came back from Cyprus just wearing all, like, my mom would make me clothes a lot, so I had like velvet leggings and velvet turtlenecks and like all of this like weird like homemade stuff, and that I was super
so
cool
warm
with.
to wear.
It's Minnesota.
Okay. Yeah, I guess it is like literally always cold.
It was very cold. And then like, I'd wear like bicycle shorts or like whatever I wanted. I would play soccer. I was like kind of this like sporty kid.
Right. Yeah.
So I would just like anything that I could move in was what I wore.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. You get a leeway when you end up playing sports. You're just like, this feels right. I don't know.
Yeah. And then it was like, that is not cool to wear. And so then I like grabbed at anything. So I went through like, I went through every phase you can think of. I went through.
Just tried everything on.
Yeah. Truly being like, does this work? Anybody? Like,
so full limited too.
Yeah.
Is
truly,
this right? Yeah.
Full limited too. Then I went, Abercrombie and Fitch.
Yeah.
And then I went
God,
Hollister.
I wanted to be an Abercrombie bitch so bad. Like,
I did
God,
it. I was
really
wearing the labels, and I couldn't afford that much, so I just wore the same shirts over, which tricked no one.
I had a total of like 2 polos, I think, from Hollister, because I was like, this is cool. But by the time I had gotten to that point, everyone had moved on.
Yeah.
And then I look like the asshole.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Once you do it, you're passe. So like I had the things, and then they were like, not
We're
good
over
enough.
that now.
Right.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
then I went to like Hot Topic, and I was
Oh,
like this
nice.
emo chick for a while, and then that did nothing. And then I was like,
You're
I
just
did
like every type of white girl.
every
Like,
single thing you could do,
Yeah.
because literally I was just like, is this okay? Like, are
Someone
we
tell
okay
me.
now?
Yeah.
I had my one moment in the sun with Jordans, and then that was it.
Yeah.
And then and that I messed up. So I pretty much eventually, I would say my final evolution,
your butterfly moment
my evolution
out of the cocoon
was truly just like being like screw it, and like I didn't like I had been wearing flares for a really long time because like those were a thing, and then I was just
hell
like
yeah.
I was like, okay, well, I have my flares, and then I also like baggy jeans, and then I would every now and then wear like, because I think boho skirts were in, so I
Yes,
guess
yes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they
Oh,
were.
yeah.
I had some boho skirts, but not the long ones because I was
Kind of like the
short.
one that goes like to your calf.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I would wear like little angry t-shirts.
oh yeah, like the bunny one?
Yeah, the bunny one.
Yes. Holy shit,
I
dude.
had
I wanted to work
The
for that
David and
company
Goliath.
so bad.
That's what it was called.
Yeah, I really wanted to like write shirts like that. Like I really wanted to be
Boys are
contributing.
stupid, throw rocks at them.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was-
Actually, like this has aged poorly, but like my favorite shirt was a little monkey that looked like Donald Trump, and it said "You're fired." Because this is remember when he was on The Apprentice,
and we all thought that was funny.
Oh, I fucking loved The Apprentice. I have survivor's guilt about this. Like I'm still really working through my, used to loving The Apprentice. I do have a diary entry though, because I have kept a diary since 2004. I'm really proud of it. Like I don't write in it every day, obviously, but like certainly
write in it
like
pretty regularly.
I mean, it's like my whole life is pretty much in this diary. And there was an episode where Donald Trump fired Bradford. I remember this so vividly. It was like such a thing. And I wrote a diary entry back because I was pissed. I was like, Bradford was working so hard. He is the reason why that team has been doing well at all. He put himself on the line, and Donald Trump fired him for that. I hate Donald Trump. I'm not watching the show anymore.
That holds up then.
And I was like, yes, I overcame this. So anytime I start to feel bad that I used to watch The Apprentice all the time, it's like, no. I saw the future long before. I'm a visionary. In 2007, I wrote this entry in
And
my
you're not
diary.
alone in watching
No,
it. It was
everyone
a
watched
very
it.
popular
It was
show.
very popular,
Hell
and what
yeah.
a bad idea for a show.
I know.
Just watch people do business.
That was like when Mark Burnett was like, oh, you guys like reality competition?
Right.
Please, here's everything I could possibly make it to reality competition show.
But yeah, well, don't worry about it. You saw the future.
No, but those like angry shirts though, I thought
Yeah.
were
Oh,
so.
yeah.
I thought they were fucking hilarious and so
Yeah.
edgy. And
that
like,
and the other monk, the Paul.
Oh, Paul Frank.
Paul
Frank,
Frank.
that was
Holy
the other
shit.
monkey.
Who had a wallet with Paul Frank?
Oh, everyone.
designs on it.
I wanted it, but I couldn't. They were too expensive for
Yeah,
me.
yeah,
it was
yeah.
a Christmas
I
gift
couldn't.
for sure.
Yeah. Well, by that time,
Yeah.
I think my parents were like, no, we're not, because like
Yeah.
they'd seen me do this like weird morph, and then they were just like, Carmen just needs to like get like past it and.
Yeah, don't
and
invest
so-
too much money on her.
They let you figure it out
face.
yourself.
Yeah,
though, which is,
they were pretty much like, listen, if
You're
you're
on your
gonna,
own,
if
kid.
you want to spend money on that, you can save up and like, pay that much for a t-shirt. So then I had all of these leftover like angry t-shirts,
Yeah.
and like I would like, then I started just like getting, I remember there's this one shirt that for some reason I wore it all the time. I don't know why I wore it. It just said American Goddess, and it had like a little American flag, and it was just like bejeweled, and I thought it was,
Oh
but
god, I
I'd wear
bet
it
it
with,
looks so cool.
it was like the little teeny shirt, and then I had like
Yes.
these baggy jeans that I would wear, and that was like one of my go-to outfits.
Yeah.
But pretty much, I would say like by the end, when I like I call it my give up phase, where I was like, I can't impress you
Yeah.
people. I'm not
Yeah.
going to try anymore. I kind of based my look off of the. Have you seen Drop Dead Gorgeous?
Yes, of course.
The main character in Drop Dead Gorgeous is
Okay,
kind of
okay.
what I dressed myself as.
That's a pretty
By the-
sophisticated place to be like,
Yeah.
that's the style I'm going for.
Well, pretty much I saw her, and I because it was also based in Minnesota, and I like resonated with her
Yes.
because she
Yeah.
was like clearly kind of, she wasn't like I felt like she was like a cool character in the movie, but
Right.
but she wasn't like,
there are a lot of characters like that where like, they're
Yeah,
not cool,
yeah.
but they're relatable and cool to you.
Yeah.
It's
Sometimes
yeah.
I find that frustrating when I watch a movie and I'm like, that character would actually be cool in the real world.
Right, like Juno.
They're just,
It-
they're
it's
just in
that
a bad
syndrome.
place.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's sad.
But so that's what I based my look off of, was like kind of her.
That's wise.
Look.
That's good. Like good for your parents for letting you figure it out. Because I think my mom was just like, she's going to need a lot of help. Like she just saw it. My mom also worked in the fashion industry.
Oh, wow.
So she was like, this little tomboy is going to need help because she is only wearing her brother's hand-me-downs.
Right.
And it's going to stop being cute T-minus 2 minutes real soon. So I don't think to this day, I have a hard time shopping for myself because I was like, my mom was always like, I'll handle it. Don't worry about it.
That's so funny.
But at the same time, it was good. She worked in the fashion. She understood, but then occasionally things would come out and it was like, clearly a middle-aged woman has dressed you.
Well, it wasn't your wasn't your
because it wasn't me. And
why did we go through a phase where we put all of our preteen young women in America in shrugs?
Shrugs. You're right. I forgot about the shrugs. The little tiny.
Yes, I have several. Why did we do that to our youth? It's our young women.
I remember getting a few of those.
I assumed it was for me. I thought it was a temple thing.
I was just about to say they made that for church. Yeah,
because in temple you have to cover your shoulders.
Yes.
So I had them because of temple,
Yeah.
but I definitely have worn them to other places.
I know in my middle school there was a rule where you couldn't show your shoulders. You couldn't have a tank top.
Yeah, no spaghetti straps.
Yeah, no spaghetti straps. But it was like no straps at all. You had to have like shoulders covered.
Yeah.
And so shrugs were used in that sense. But I'm wondering if that was because that was just like the regulation in schools. So they were like, I don't know, give the girls shrugs. I don't know.
Yeah, there was some like conglomerate that happened. It's like, listen, we are
big
seeing
shrug.
way too many. Yeah, big shrug industry was like, young women's shoulders are way too provocative. We gotta cover this up with this fucking grandma shit here.
Oh my God.
And they were never I recall the shrugs that I have were like pastel colors, and they were like, what the fuck fabric was that? That was like, it wasn't velvet, but it was kind of.
It was like a weird,
like not a sweater,
polyester cashmere.
Yeah, like just a mess. And then you're giving young people these things that are basically dry clean only. Like I don't ever remember like washing my shrugs because they'd fall apart.
Oh, they were shrugs.
Yeah.
They were
You don't wash a shrug. You just like armpit sweat into it, puberty armpit sweat into it.
Oh, it really was puberty armpit. It was like the worst. It was like the reason that I think grandmothers can get away with it is because they're not sweating like kids in puberty.
Yeah,
right.
But we were.
Yeah, I mean, at least you grew up in Minnesota. I grew up in Miami, so there's no reason to be in a shrug. I thank God though. I think every day that my school made us wear a uniform, so I did not have to think about that.
Our public schools in Houston, you have to wear uniforms because I think it's like an anti-gang initiative. Like, because when you're young, I don't know what the fuck. But so we had uniforms, and that was like the first time I ever wore a skirt. Was my school uniform because you could wear pants, but like if you wanted any sort of social clout.
You wore
the goddamn skirt. I actually think like our skirts are pretty cute. They were like khaki pleated skirts.
Oh, nice.
So they weren't like uber preppy with like the plaid or anything like that or gingham or whatever. Like it was kind of like an in between, like whatever. But it was weird. Like I had this conversation with my English teacher in 6th grade, and she was like, she brought this up. She was like, "Isn't it weird how like on some people like they can really wear the uniform really well, and on other people like it doesn't look exactly right, and you're wearing the same thing." So how does it look better on some people than it does others? And I was like, this is a weird conversation to be having with me, your students, about how other people look.
Yeah. Also, put a little bit of, like, that's like a little, to me as a kid, I'd be like, who am I? Am I wearing it wrong?
Immediately, I thought that. Was I wearing it correct?
Yeah, well, I know I was wearing mine all sorts of fucking wrong. But I think because I've always had the, like, maturity of, like, a 60-year-old when it comes to, like, older people can talk to me. And I'm like, that's right, Deborah. You're absolutely Yeah, but God knows. Oh, Jesus Christ. Some people wore that uniform so poorly. It's weird. You're wearing the same fucking thing.
I get it. I don't know why khaki is, like, one of the go-to uniform
it's weird. Yeah, our shorts were khaki.
And because if you have a period in that thing,
that's it. Again, it was Miami, but you just knew. Only girls knew. I don't think the guys ever cut on, but there was no reason you had a sweatshirt on you.
Exactly.
Miami.
Yeah,
it's and if like you had a sweatshirt tied around your waist, we're like, we know what happened.
We at least had the good graces at our school. Like all the girls would wear like the Sophie shorts underneath the skirt. Because like these are like pleated, like basically like flyaway. I mean, like if you weren't wearing, oh my God, you were a straight up hoe. Or if you were wearing shorts under your skirt, my God. And like after middle school though, I continued to wear shorts under my skirt for a very long time. And even to this day, if a skirt's a little short, I'm like, oh, I'll wear bicycle shorts underneath this. Like, I felt weird wearing a skirt without shorts for a while because I was like, this is so the breeze between my legs. Oh, everyone's gonna know. It's stupid.
That is amazing. Do you, Carmen, have any like things that like will still pop up for you at night, like that you're just like, oh man,
yeah,
why
are
did I
there
do
photos
that?
of this time that maybe we could see?
Yeah, there are definitely so many photos.
Yeah.
Let's see. What are some stories? Okay. Well, okay. So I went through all of these different
Stages
and
stages of
phases.
Carmen.
Yeah, stages of Carmen, the phases of Carmen. And there was this one, I remember at that one point, like I did in our public school, we had to do a project about a religion that was not our own. So it was like learning about theology, essentially.
Yeah.
It was learning about religions. And I was like, oh, well, and then I stumbled upon a book about like Wicca, like Wiccanism. And so I like was like reading about it and like thought
You got
it was
the
like
most
really
interesting
cool.
one.
Yeah, you
definitely
really lucked out.
Yeah, it was like witches, you know, and I remember my teacher was very religious.
Oh no.
And was not going to let me do it.
Was it a religious school or?
No, it was a public school, and she was not going to let me do it. And so I remember I was also this weird little like kid who would like constantly get like, I don't know. I didn't realize I was this much of a kid, but I was like a good kid. I did my homework a lot, you know. But I also like if there was an injustice, I was like, "This is not okay."
Yes.
No, I feel like that's the sign that you're going to grow up to be a comedian.
I have written and had so many petitions signed in my middle school years. I mean, like every other fucking week, I was basically like, will you sign my petition? I believe that it's wrong that we're letting kids like eat French fries or like whatever the fuck. Yeah.
No, more than like trying to do bits and like trying to figure out how to be funny, it is like if there's like a school injustice that you will rail against it.
Yeah,
I feel
we're
like
all Lisa Simpson in that regard.
Okay.
That it's
Yeah, it was very least. Yeah, so pretty much I was like, well, this is a religion though, and you said to study a religion, and it's not fair that some are allowed and some aren't. This is America.
Yes.
And so I like went to the prince, and my mom was like, Carmen's not wrong. So she like, I went to the vice principal, and I was like, I should be allowed to do this project. Yeah. And like, they were like, Carmen should be allowed to technically, legally, Carmen should be allowed to do this project. And so the teacher had to let me do this project. And I brought in, there was this, you know, in Wiccanism, there are some practices, and I didn't actually have like the ability to get
familiar.
These like I wasn't able to get the tools that are actually used.
Right, like a frog's eye and
no, it was
Bridgett and I are like,
are they real witches?
No,
The
witchcraft.
Yeah,
it was
Macbeth
like
witches.
certain stones, certain crystals, certain candles, certain things like that. And so there were these stones that I remember were used in the practice that I couldn't get a hold of the actual items, so I just
you weren't in Silver Lake. You couldn't just walk into a crystal store.
It was Minnesota. And it wasn't like, I feel like Minnesota now has gotten like changed a lot, but when I was growing up it wasn't quite there. And so I remember painting these little rocks that I found near the lake. Like one I painted them the colors that they were supposed to be for this like thing, and I was like explaining what they were used for, and I remember like passing them around the class, and the teacher wouldn't touch them.
Oh my god.
And then it was a rumor for the next couple years that I was a witch.
Damn. Okay, wait, that's fucking cool. Hold on, that is awesome.
But this was in the midst of me being like, no, but look at the Abercrombie.
Yeah.
Just doesn't add up.
The last thing I wanted was like,
you were Sabrina the teenage witch.
I was
in that regard.
but like not. They were like, Carmen will curse. Like Carmen will put a spell on you. And so then I like,
and this is not an overlap when Harry Potter was really popular.
It was maybe right. It either was right before or it was.
Yeah, it had to be like on the cusp of.
It had to have been. No, it was like I was in 7th grade So I think it was definitely during Harry Potter, but it wasn't.
I don't think. Yeah, it wasn't.
Considered.
We're saying during Harry Potter, like this
Cool.
is such.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it really, when those books were coming out, like that.
That
really
was a thing.
Yeah.
I think it was, but like it wasn't.
I don't. Yeah, it wasn't like culturally on fire. I mean,
Well, it didn't protect me.
Yeah,
We'll just
yeah.
say that the
Yeah,
fact that
it
Harry
wasn't a
Potter
blanket.
existed
Yeah.
didn't make anything.
You were still on trial.
It was still like Carmen's crazy. Like Carmen's weird, and I was like, no, wait, but the Abercrombie. Look at the
all the
clothes that
fighting
I
you
got.
did just really backfired on you.
Yeah.
And then I was like, but listen, okay, it's the point that we should be able to study whatever religion, but also like, look, the Abercrombie. Like I was just
This
like,
is an episode of The Simpsons.
I just
feel
see you like flop sweating and like trying to
Yes.
explain
Yeah.
this, and that's so great.
So that was like a pretty. I remember an embarrassing moment, and then I had this one friend who I had a couple friends. One who was truly like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And then the other who was just like a little more calm and whatever. But I remember having a talk with them and being like, I don't know what to do. Everybody thinks I'm a witch, and
Just classic teenage problems.
yeah. And then I had one of my other friends. They were just like, just embrace it. Like, just embrace it.
Yeah,
like,
come
go
to
with
school
it.
with
You're
a
a witch,
pointy
yeah.
hat.
And one of my other friends was like really into it, and she's like, "Yeah, let's just do it. Let's just embrace it." And then
I was
she
gonna ask that. I'm so glad someone told you to do that.
Yeah.
And so then like I was like, okay, whatever. Like I don't like letting it roll off my back. And then I remember at one point, oh, this is so funny and dumb. We were in class, and there's this girl who used to kind of like pick on me and my friend, and she took my friend's seat. Like she specifically, like my friend had to get up and get something, and she like took her seat, and it was just like a power play.
Yeah.
And and my friend was like, said something along the lines of like, if you don't, you better watch out. You took my seat, but that's not okay. You better watch out. And she's like, oh, what are you going to do? Curse me? And then the girl fell out of the chair, and my friend was like, I have powers.
Oh my god.
Amazing.
A true moment where
Slam dunk.
she was like, I have powers. And I was like, I remember I had written in my diary, I
Yeah.
had like written like, and now she's afraid that she has powers that she can't control. But
Oh my God.
And I said, but if she just knocked her off her chair, then I guess she can kind of control it. And I think, I don't know, maybe she does, maybe she doesn't, but it's not too bad.
I just love the 360 this Wiccan project made you do. Just
It was a spiral. It was an insane.
Wow.
And then
you're a witch, and then your friend's a witch, but you don't want to be a witch, but maybe you have powers.
yeah,
Like-
I was like, I didn't know that.
I feel like everybody goes through a phase where like you do think for a second like maybe I can fly. You know, like maybe maybe
broke-
this is real.
I nearly broke my leg that way. I had convinced myself that I could fly, and then jumped off a high table, and apparently did not quit in my belief until I was like right above the ground, so I didn't land properly.
Yeah,
When
yeah,
normally
yeah.
I should have just like jumped off the table and landed, but I really was like fighting. I can do this, all the way to hitting the ground.
Yeah, well, so much of like children's literature is about like, you know, there's a person and they have a special ability that they
Yeah.
never knew anything about. And so like I think that does kind of enter your imagination to the
Yeah.
point it's like maybe if I
Yeah, maybe I'm Matilda.
Yeah.
exactly. Matilda is like the reason why everyone feels this
Yeah.
way. It's because it's like
Maybe I'm Matilda. and
Maybe I'm
everybody's
the
terrible.
you're the special.
Yeah.
Like,
oh for sure.
Yeah, it's 100. Yeah, and I think that's always the story.
Oh,
we
I
tell
got
kids.
stitches in my leg because I was jumping around a fold-out bed, reenacting scenes from Empire Strikes Back when Luke is hopping, because Luke is hopping around Dagobah with Yoda on his back, and I was
Yeah.
like, tight, that's me. And
I just imagine you getting your dog and like.
Oh, I wish. Sally would not be into that though. And I was like hopping around and stuff, and I sliced my leg right open.
Oh god.
Yeah, and then I kind of went through a phase where Star Wars wasn't in my life, so I think maybe the two coincide. Like, okay.
You hurt me, Star Wars, and I'm never going back.
Well, joke's on my mom now because now I'm a huge fucking Star Wars nerd. Ha!
Ah.
And if I could do it again, I would.
Yeah.
Well, okay, I wouldn't get stitches. That's a lie. But I would jump on the bed again.
Yeah, we all make those childish sacrifices.
Sure.
Yeah. I feel like every.
Stitches.
Well, yeah, and you became a witch, so
Yeah.
you know.
I did.
I feel
I
like
had a
every-
power
yeah.
to knock somebody out of their chair.
Nice.
Oh no, that wasn't me. That was my friend. My friend had
But-
that power.
That is so
But, you know,
cool, though.
It transfers.
Also, it's like
You're a
it's,
coven now. You get.
it's so
Yeah.
funny that like
Seriously.
I'd done all this research about like Wicca, and like Wicca is more like a belief in like more nature and like all of
Yeah.
it.
It's
like
it's like
paganism.
it's paganism.
Yeah.
It was like but it had nothing to do with knocking people out of their chair. And
Yeah,
for
anyone who's
some
listening, we
reason-
know the difference between like fictional witchcraft,
Yeah.
which we're kind of joking about, and like this
Yeah.
actual religion.
But of course,
It's fuzzy to me, but I understand.
but of course, I believed. I was like, well, like there are things that we can't answer. You're in that, and then
Right.
of course, my friend was like, she knocked that girl off that chair, and I was like, well, she could have. I mean, I can't say yes or no either way.
I don't know what's real and what's not.
Unsolved mysteries. That'd be a great episode.
Oh my god, did she knock her off her chair?
Right.
With powers.
But I feel like every kid who was awkward like had just like a niche that they were like, I'm gonna fall into this. So
Yeah.
like
Yep.
the witches, I definitely and still do like definitely think I'm smarter than I am. And
my
did as
God,
a
yeah.
child, and I was like, I was obsessed with space, and I was like,
Oh, I love that.
I'm gonna go to space. They're gonna see how smart I am, and they're gonna want me in NASA, and they're gonna shoot me to the moon to do some studies. And
They're all gonna see.
they're all gonna see. And like, I was just an asshole because of that. Like, it wasn't cool. I was
Yeah.
just like an asshole and thought I was smarter than everyone when I wasn't. I did not understand how to do math.
No.
Yeah, I kind of went through like I don't think it manifests itself out loud, thank
Yeah.
God, but mentally, I really was into reading the books like The Click and The A-List. And like, not actually, Gossip Girl was the one I didn't really get into, but like Gossip Girl adjacent books. And especially because I was wearing a uniform and it was like a polo and khaki pleated skirt.
Yeah.
And like the Click series was about 7th graders, which now that I look back on it isn't fucking sane. And like those books suck. But I was like, I want to be, and like Super Sweet 16 was a thing. Like I wanted to be like preppy and like uppity, I guess. I don't know. And so like the thing of it though was I really wanted to wear Abercrombie and Hollister, but one, it was like, I cannot understand paying $60 fucking for this shit. Like I could not justify that.
Yeah.
And also I was like very short. I'm still a very short person to this day. But
Yeah,
like,
those clothes are made for model children.
for girls who are 5'7" and like fully developed in 7th grade.
Yeah.
I'm like, that ain't me. That is not me at all.
Oh, those
Still
clothes
not
look
me.
so awkward on like, and those were the smallest skirts and the tightest shirts.
Just bad. And like I still couldn't even wear that shit because I was petite. So like it's not just like I'm small so it should fit me because I'm small. No, like my torso isn't this long.
Yeah.
Like my shins are very disproportionate to my thigh. Like
The jean bottoms would go on past.
oh
your feet.
my
yeah,
God.
yeah.
And it wasn't cool to cuff your pants yet. Thank God that's become a trend. Like seriously, thank
I'm
God.
so grateful for that.
Oh
Jesus.
no, I need that.
Yeah. But like you could roll up your polo sleeve though.
Oh,
like,
yeah, yeah.
cuff the polo sleeve. That was
Well, yeah,
fucking
my
it.
my school uniform was a polo, and that's like when I learned how to wear the uniform. I was like, the cool kids are rolling their sleeve. That's a trick. And I remember I was like, I can't just start doing this in the middle of school year. So when I come back next year for 10th grade, I'll start rolling up my sleeves.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then everything really just rocket ship to the top for me.
yeah. Yeah, and like the distressed like denim skirt, which would be like I'm not joking, $60 or $80 for
It was
fabric for that was like nothing. Like you paid so much money for so little clothing. Stupid, but damn, I wanted to be like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because all my other friends in middle school were genuinely preps.
Yeah.
Like they lived in the preppy part of town. They had the money to spend on preppy clothing like that.
Yeah.
Yikes. Yeah. I really wanted to, but I was like, my body and everything. I'm just going to wear a shrug.
No, I shrug. I'll just do the shrug thing.
Fine. Give me the shrug.
Yeah.
Give me the shrug.
No, I literally went to a prep school. So
Yeah.
that like the A-list and the clip, that's what everyone in my school modeled themselves after.
yeah.
Wow.
So you go to parties and they would all be in like Abercrombie, and I'd be like, does it like whatever my
that was
mom
the
found for me?
That
And I
was the
like,
bat mitzvah uniform.
oh yeah.
And the first mitzvah I went to, I think I knew more Jewish people growing up than my parents did growing up, so they were
Yeah.
new to mitzvahs as well. And so they were like, well, listen, this is like and this is true, like it's a very special religious ceremony, etc. But like they didn't address the fact that like the Saturday night party, like the actual party, like
Fun
you
party.
don't have to wear clothes like you're going to church. So the first mitzvah I went to, I was dressed like we went out and bought
There was
slacks
always like,
and bought like a very nice shirt because it's like, well, we want to be respectful of their religious practice and etc. And like, I want to put on a good show because I'm a Gentile and I'm like going it up at this thing. And then like when I got there, everyone was wearing the denim
normal
skirts.
clothes,
I was
and
like,
people are throwing out like prop sunglasses.
yeah, and I'm wearing a shrug.
I love it.
Yeah,
I'm like, thank you so much for inviting me to your very special occasion. I understand you're a woman now. And it's like, yeah, like
Congratulations, Mazel Tov.
yeah, Mazel Tov. Here is $17, $18, I think, something along those lines. 21.
Your costume here, $18.
Yeah, exactly. And then like I quickly learned like that's appropriate to dress like at the temple ceremony that morning, which I fucking never went to.
Yeah.
But the party, like,
Yeah,
Sarah,
it's a
please
different
dress
thing.
like a child. This is not a business meeting. There's a chocolate fountain and a DJ that's throwing out beads and shit. So you don't have to dress like you're going to church.
Those were just a nightmare of awkwardness. And
Yeah.
I think like most.
I caught on. Literally after
Yeah.
that first one, I was like, nope.
That's good.
Nope.
Yeah,
I'm going to Delia's and I'm getting real outfits.
Delia.
That was the only store that truly fit me
Yeah.
because it was for shorter girls.
Yeah, that's where
Yes.
and that's where you get your funny T-shirts, your
fuck yes.
funny angry T-shirts
Definitely.
Absolutely.
I remember literally ordering
from the catalog.
Delia's catalog.
I always flip through those. I never ordered from them, but yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
No,
yes, yes.
I
I decoupaged many like binders and stuff with photos from those
from
catalogs.
Delia's catalog. Yeah, that and the PB Teen catalog. I would never get anything from PB Teen, but those were like
right.
those
Limited
magazines
to
would come to my house, and I was
Claire's.
like, this is my aesthetic.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is not fitting for who
No.
I am as a person, but I understand it's what I should be going
No,
for.
we grew up Lisa Frank girls, and we were just trying to become Lisa Frank women. But the secret is you don't want to be a Lisa Frank woman.
No. That's yeah, I don't know what that would even look like. What a Lisa Frank woman is.
Full of neon. I don't know. Maybe I feel like we see it on Instagram a little bit.
It's kind of, I would say,
Yeah.
like it's coming back a little bit in vogue to be like really colorful and stuff. But that's because everyone's doing drugs now.
They weren't before.
I guess Lisa Frank women
Well, I
are.
was.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. No, I think we know what Lisa Frank women are.
Yeah. They're like 30-year-old women who still go to raves. That's
Yep.
yeah, they've always existed.
Yeah.
Good for
for
you.
us.
Yeah.
We really alienated the Wicca and Lisa Frank crowd on
I'm
this
really
podcast
sorry about
today.
that.
Sorry.
No, I feel like
All
we
due
brought in the
respect, you do
Wiccans.
you, but you know.
Listen, I lived it.
Watch out for Carmen. She'll knock you off your chair
Yeah.
if you cross her
I
front.
mean, that's not what Wicca
She'll get her
does.
coven
but-
to do it.
No,
She doesn't do
again,
it.
I know
Again,
what
we
it takes.
understand the religion.
I just want to clarify for those who are Wiccan that I
we
know
don't
what
mean
your
to offend
religion
Wiccans.
entails. But yeah, as a middle schooler, I didn't understand how anything works.
No. For what it's worth, we did a similar project like that in high school of like a different religion. Me and my friend picked Scientology, and we played the South Park episode about Scientology because they explain it better than we could have. I went to an art school.
Oh wow.
We got away with that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, you should. That is, if a teacher tried to shut that down, I would have been like, fair.
Oh yeah, we could only get away with it because this one teacher. But actually, everyone was like, "I had no idea what Scientology was." I'm like, "Well, now you know.
Yeah.
This is it."
Yeah. The thing that the IRS declared a religion.
Yeah.
That's for my Scientology podcast.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a journey we've been on today.
Yeah.
What a fashion. This has been kind of the fashion
A fashion
episode.
talk.
know.
We've gone through the stages of Carmen.
Yeah, really quite a metamorphosis.
How would
Yeah.
you describe your fashion today? Just curious.
Today?
Well, maybe not like right now, but like, you know, in
what
general,
you're- yeah.
modern.
Oh man, I mean, I think it like once I got to the I don't care phase, I kind of hit that pretty hard, and
Yeah.
now I'm like hitting this point where I'm almost in my third my third evolution, which is just like trying to dress appropriately and yet comfortably all at once.
Yeah, I don't want people to notice me.
Yeah.
But I certainly want to look presentable.
I
mean-
want when people to look at me to go, oh, nice.
Yes, yeah.
We should point out that Carmen is wearing a black pointy hat and is carrying a broomstick.
That is, again, we know that is not how Wicca works. I just want to clarify for your fans who are practicing Wicca.
I know. I'm being.
If I get a tweet from a Wiccan that is upset about this episode, I'm going to full on shit my shorts. Like I would truly be astounded.
Yeah.
But fair if they're upset.
I'm sorry.
Fuck, the Patreon is gonna like disappear now. Like so many people are gonna pull support.
Yeah. We really appealed to the Wiccan demographic before this. I need to stop making fun of Wiccans. I keep doing it and I don't mean to, and I'm very sorry.
But yeah, I guess if you want to know what I'm wearing right now, it's like a ratty t-shirt and jeans. So I'm really pulling off the look that I did.
Cool. You got a John Williams shirt on for the Boston Pops.
I know.
That's
I found
cool.
this actually in my laundry randomly.
Oh, it's
a
cool shirt,
building
actually.
laundry shirt. No, it is a cool shirt, but it's not mine. I definitely took it.
Yeah, I'm in my hangover uniform today. This dress, I'm wearing a dress right now. This is when I'm like, look, I'm going to be sweating probably vodka today, so might as well keep it breezy.
Yeah.
I'm wearing flip-flops. That's how much it's like, listen.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's
Bridgett,
good.
what are you wearing?
When I switched to freelance work after the downfall of a website called Crack, for a while, I was like, during the day, like my Mondays through Fridays that day, I don't know what I'm doing. Like,
Shit, you can wear whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, so that was a really confusing time period for me, and that's when I just like my days for a while were just like I go to the gym for 3 hours now because I have nothing else to do.
Yeah.
Like,
I ended up wearing just leggings.
And that's exactly what I'm wearing. Is like I just like if I don't have a plan for the day, workout clothes.
Yeah, fuck it.
I still don't know how I dress myself. Like, to be honest, I, wake up and I'm like, this will work for me today.
We've reverted to pre-puberty.
Yeah.
We've literally reverted to like how it began, which was like clothing that you can move in.
And know what? That was,
it was a great time.
It was a great time because I wasn't thinking about it. I was like, this is functional.
I think that's true wisdom, though, when you've hit the point where you're like, you know what? It really doesn't matter what the fuck I look like.
Yeah.
So long as I can function.
Well, also,
and that's more important. That's being a strong, independent woman.
I spent my days going between the gym and my apartment, which is not air conditioned. So I was like, really just workout clothes because I can only sit in my apartment in a sports bra and like shorts or leggings because I will melt otherwise.
Yeah. My dad lovingly refers to this as his drinking outfit. It's the outfit he puts on after work. So after, when he goes to work, he wears like slacks, a different, tasteful Hawaiian shirt. And then every day comes home and literally wears the same t-shirt, the same pair of basketball shorts. And our cat has just clawed the fuck. I mean, this shirt is like barely on. And I used to kind of make fun of him because it's like, your drinking outfit. But now I find myself getting home from work, immediately ripping off my jeans, putting on basketball shorts, putting on a t-shirt. And then I think like, why do I want to dirty up a t-shirt that I'm only wearing for like half a day? So I wind up wearing the same goddamn t-shirt every day.
My home,
and I'm like, now I'm in a drinking outfit. This is my drinking outfit. Great.
Different phases. And
I like that we revert. I'm just like really happy. To me, that was like, oh my God, we did revert back to, because I was like, well, I started in clothes that I just want to move in and a lot of velvet. And I'm like, I should get into velvet more. Like, that's like a thought that I've had recently.
You know what? Sometimes it gets kind of cool in LA at night. I'm going to get a shrug.
I think a shrug could work.
Because sometimes my shoulders are cool.
No, what? Some of those like Abercrombie polos, I really feel like.
I will never fucking step one goddamn foot.
Let's just go
Listen, I don't want to offend the Wiccan crowd, but if you're the Abercrombie and Fitch crowd, fuck you.
Yeah.
I'll never ever go into that store again. Your perfume sucks.
Yeah.
It's too expensive. Go to Target.
And so strong.
I love if all of your fans are just Abercrombie and Fitch.
It's dark in those stores. Turn on some motherfucking lights. I can't see shit.
Yeah.
I was more of a Hollister girl, but of course I was.
No, and now I live the life in California. Like I always wanted to live in SoCal. I always want to be here, and like Hollister was like that outlet. And now that I'm here, you can't pay me to wear a Hollister anything.
One of my like go-to. We're really doing a fashion podcast. One of like,
it's okay. This is the fashion episode.
Like one of my go-to, like, I don't know what I'm wearing today. It's hot. I do need to go outside. And like, so I'll put on just shorts and one of the like pairs I go to. For some reason, they still fit me. I got them when I was like 14 and they're a pair of like linen Hollister shorts.
But that's linen's good. Linen's
Yeah,
good quality.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
you're
it's
allowed,
good.
you're allowed like one or two.
Yeah, I still have them, and like,
But
there's
not
still like
the shirts that say like Hollister.
Oh no, it's
established
not
18
branded.
suck
You
my
would never
dick
know.
with the
Like, yeah,
fucking
you would
eagle
never
or
know they're
whatever.
Hollister shorts. They're just like a pair of just like blue shorts that like I
Yeah.
can go out in during the day and like pick up
I-
Chipotle.
I-
I'm painting a sad picture of my life.
Here's the thing. You said you're painting a sad picture, but I'm like, why don't you ever invite me to go with you to get Chipotle? I will come out with my yoga pants. It's fine.
Yeah, all my t-shirts have holes in them.
Yes, literally.
Yeah.
Always,
I'm
yeah.
showing off my holes right now.
Right, yeah, the bottom fourth of a t-shirt.
Yeah.
I can't.
I don't
it's
know what
cr-
is happening.
What happens to the bottom fourth?
The bottom fourth of my t-shirts all have weird holes in them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do not throw them away.
No,
they're
fuck
great.
no.
They're good t-shirts. One hole
I only
is going to
throw
make me
out-
throw away a
I only
perfectly
throw
good
out
t-shirt.
shirts after my mom texts me after she sees me wear the same thing 100,000 times and says, "Stop wearing that."
Oh, my mom says that to me every time she sees me in a shirt with holes in, which is all my shirts. So
Yeah. Oh, my mom.
still rebelling. You know,
Fuck you! I'm gonna wear this shirt until I die.
See,
I'm buried in it.
my mom is a potter, and so she has literally stained
Yeah.
Oh,
old
everything. Yeah.
shirts. And so when she sees me in them, she's
Yeah.
like, "Well, I hope you're creating."
Oh, that's
those
sweet.
are your
No, this is a
creating
hole that a
shirts.
cat made.
Yeah, I'm like, no, this is just like a sitting around.
That's a dryer. That's a dryer hole.
My shirt got stuck in the button of my pants.
It happened so much. It happens all the time.
Because when you sit as much, it gets stuck. It just
these
like
are moth holes.
It rubs the.
Yeah.
Yeah. Carmen, thank you so much for coming on.
This was a delight.
Yeah.
I was afraid of going down this memory lane. I was even telling my roommate, I was like, oh, this is just going to be sad. And then
No,
I was
no,
like,
no.
I
no,
had a lot
this
of fun
kinda
being
fun.
the 90s and early 2000s fashion police today. I
Yeah.
It's good to go down that fashion.
No,
road.
no. Sometimes you just need to relive it to feel good about your formal self and just be like, know what? It's okay. You know?
Well, now we're just in like third or fourth grade again. Now.
Right. It's just,
Yeah.
but like we know now.
And we love it. We're
Yeah.
like, good work, third grade self.
Yeah. You did the best you could, and you're gonna figure it out. You
Yes.
know?
You were comfy as hell, and we love that.
Yeah, you're
And
trying.
now we are all proud, independent Lisa Frank women here to speak our
grown ass Lisa Frank
truth.
women.
Exactly.
Yeah. Again, thank you for coming on. Tell people what you're up to, where we can find
Oh
you.
man, I'm kind of all over the place right now. If you want to see my work, it's generally at www.carmenangelica.com. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's at Parmesan Cheeses.
Great handle.
Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you. Otherwise, I post stuff on my website is mainly where
Yeah.
you can find it all in one place.
Yeah, and make sure to put the www dot in there.
I don't know if people do that anymore.
No, but you said it, and I appreciate
I know
it.
you when you said that I was like, wow, thank you for clarifying that for the older people
Yeah,
listening.
that this is a website on the World
I mean,
Wide Web.
Listen,
Yeah.
I know you have a lot of fans who are Abercrombie and Fitch people, and I just want to make it clear for them.
Yeah.
True. Because
Yeah.
God knows they're not on the internet.
Yeah, you can find this podcast on all of the platforms at Rough Stuff Pod. You can find me on Twitter at Bridgett Tweets.
I'm at Twitter, @SK_Griffith. Send me photos of your Hollister. of your closet.
You're just gonna send such angry tweets back if they send you stuff.
Oh, Hollister, give us free stuff.
Oh my, if we were sponsored by Hollister, I will take back everything I say.
Yeah. And we're sorry to the Wiccan crowd.
And once again, apologies to the Wiccan crowd.
So sorry.
This has been a Small Beans endeavor. We're a bunch of pals who make podcasts, sketches, music, web series, and movies. The Beans always have new ideas percolating, so make sure to check us out at patreon.com/smallbeans. That's patreon.com/smallbeans, where you can browse all of our current and past content, see what we've got planned in the future, and learn how your support can help the small beans grow into huge, giant monster beans. If you enjoyed this content module, please like, rate, subscribe, or tell a friend about us. We love you.